Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Janai and I'll be your yoga teacher for today. This class is a very calm and slow flow for when you might really not feel like doing yoga, but you still want to, maybe to just, continue to be consistent or whatever. A real lazy flow today, okay? So we'll begin in a child's pose with your knees spread wide to your mat. Bring your big toes to touch, sink your hips back towards your heels, and extend your arms out ahead of you. Bring your forehead to your mat. And just take a few breaths here, come into your space on your mat. Maybe even rest your forearms down in this child's pose. And just start by thanking yourself for showing up for yourself today to practice self-care even when you might really not feel all the way up to it or might not be feeling 100%. You still showed up for yourself. You're still on your mat right now. And you should be grateful for yourself for that. You can take 4 deep breaths here. In through your nose and back out your nose. You can begin to walk your hands over to the right side, ground your right hand down and stack your left hand over top, and take 4 more deep breaths here, in and out your nose. Walk your hands through center over to the left side, ground down through your left hand, stack your right hand over top. Take 4 more deep breaths. Bring your hands back to center and we'll move through some spinal rolls. So you're gonna inhale and roll forwards, rounding through your back. And then exhale, sink your hips back towards your heels, arch your spine. All right, inhale and roll forward, round your back. Exhale, arch your back, sink your hips back towards your heels. And we'll go through a few rounds of these. Try to make this roll super dramatic. Take maybe 3 more rounds. And after your 3rd one, you can make your way to a tabletop position with your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips, your back is nice and flat, your fingers are spread wide and pressing to the tops of your feet. We'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow pose. So on your inhales, dip your belly towards your mat, point your head and your tailbone up to the ceiling, and then exhale, draw your belly up to your spine. and point the crown of your head and your tailbone down towards your mat. And just take a few rounds of these at the pace of your own breath. And remember to start this movement from your tailbone and move like a wave through your spine and out the crown of your head. Take 3 more rounds. And when you're ready, you can meet back in a neutral tabletop position. All right, we're gonna stretch out our backs a little bit with a little thread the needle. So start by grounding down into your left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, open your chest. And then exhale, thread that right arm through your left arm and your legs. To come into thread the needle, bring the back of your shoulder down towards your mat. And maybe even take your left hand and extend it overhead. Be sure your hips are square. And feel this stretch across the top of your back. Take 4 deep breaths here, in and out of your nose. When you're ready, you can bring your left hand back by your face. Press into your left hand. Inhale, open that right arm right back up to the ceiling. And then exhale it back down to tabletop. We'll take that on the other side. So ground down through your right hand. Inhale, open up your left arm. And exhale, thread your left arm through. Bring your left shoulder down, and extend your right arm overhead maybe. Again, keep your hips square. And breathe into this stretch in your back. Take 4 deep breaths. When you're ready, you can bring your right hand back by your face. Inhale that left arm back up. And then exhale it back down to tabletop. Great job. All right, begin to bring the crown of your head to your mat. And then you can clasp your hands behind your back and maybe even lift your arms to bring your wrists overhead and feel that stretch in the front of your shoulders. Take 4 deep breaths here. And while you're here, you can also lean side to side, sway your hips, and feel that stretch a little more in one shoulder and the other. Wherever you are, take 4 deep breaths. When you're ready, you can unlace your fingers, bring your hands back down to your mat, move through tabletop, curl your toes under, And begin to send your hips up and back to downward dog. Feel free to keep a generous bend in your knees if you like. Maybe even pedal this down dog out by bending into one knee at a time. You can meet back in a still downward dog. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, draw your right knee forward into pigeon pose. Bring your right knee and your shin down and begin to adjust yourself to come into your pigeon pose. Keep your hips nice and square here. And as always in pigeon pose, you can keep pressed up on your hands. Maybe come down onto your elbows, maybe even stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists. But wherever you are, be sure that your hips are square and breathe into this outer right hip. Take 8 deep breaths here. When you're ready, you can press back up onto your hands and begin to make your way back to a downward facing dog. Maybe curl your toes under and just lift your hips right up. And take a full breath here in this down dog. Great job. Take another inhale here. And then exhale and draw your left knee forward this time, coming into pigeon on the left. Maybe adjust yourself. And again, you can stay pressed up onto your hands or maybe lower down onto your elbows into this sleeping pigeon pose. Wherever you are, take another 8 deep breaths. When you're ready, you can press back up onto your hands and make your way back to a downward facing dog. Take a full breath here in through your nose and out your mouth. Great job. Inhale and gaze forward between your hands. Exhale and step to right behind your wrist. Keep a generous bend in your knees. Come into a ragdoll pose here. So you can keep your fingertips on your mat. Maybe grab opposite elbows here. And just take a few breaths here. Just feel that release of tension in your neck and your back. Really just hang loose. Maybe sway side to side. breath here. And then when you're ready, lower your fingertips back to your mat and begin to bend into your knees and come to a seat. We're not even standing all the way up today, okay? And actually you can come to a straddle with your legs in a V. Flex your toes towards your face. Maybe point them away. Do this a few times. Just flex and point your feet. Maybe roll your ankles. And then roll them the other way. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Bring your right hand down, extend your left arm over. Maybe even come down to your right elbow if you'd like. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, over to the left. Center. We'll take a twist. Twist to the right. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Gaze over your right shoulder. Take 3 deep breaths here. With every exhale, try to twist a little deeper. Inhale up to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Same thing, take 3 deep breaths. Inhale up to center. Interlace your fingers, face your palms upwards. Just take an exhale here. Inhale and unlace your fingers. And then exhale, leading with your chest, begin to fold forward. And take 4 deep breaths here. With every exhale, try to maybe inch your hands a little bit more forward. Lengthen your spine on your inhales. Flex your feet towards your face. When you're ready, walk your hands back towards you. Inhale your arms up. And then exhale your hands behind you. Just leaning back on your hands. Let your head hang back with your mouth maybe falling open. Feel that stretch in the front of your neck. Feel the air traveling down your throat as you inhale and exhale. Continue to lean back on your hands, but lift your head up. And we're gonna move into kind of like a reverse table variation. We're going to press into our hands and our heels. We'll start with an inhale, and then exhale, lift your hips. Take a deep breath here, and then exhale it back down. Great job. You can sit back upright. And actually we'll come to laying. So you can lay on your back with your legs bent, the soles of your feet flat on your mat. All right, keep your left foot grounded down into your mat. Begin to stamp your right foot on the ceiling, straightening that leg up in the air. And then from here, maybe grab onto the back of your thigh or your knee or your right calves. Maybe even use a strap here. And just begin to pull that right leg over you. Flex your toes towards your face. Take 4 deep breaths here. into the front of your left knee. We'll move into a reclined pigeon pose. So begin to lift your left foot off your mat, thread your arms through your legs to grab onto your left leg, and just begin to pull your legs towards you to fold over you. Feel this stretch in the outside of your right hip. And breathe. Take 4 deep breaths here. Great job. You can uncross your legs, lower both feet back down. This time stamp your left foot on the ceiling, grab behind the back of your left leg, and fold it over you. And take 4 deep breaths here. Release your left ankle to the front of your right knee. Move into this reclined pigeon. Lift your right foot off the ground. Thread your arms through. Grab onto your right leg. And take 4 deep breaths here in this reclined pigeon on the left. Great job. You can release your legs back to your mat and bring your hands to your knees and just begin to make circles, outward circles with your knees. And then you can take these circles the other way. Great job. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, open your arms to a T. Let your knees fall over to the right side. Coming into this reclined twist. You can gaze up at the ceiling or over your left shoulder. And take 4 deep breaths here. Inhale your knees back up to center and exhale them over to the left. Gaze up at the ceiling or over your right shoulder. 4 deep breaths. Inhale your knees back up to center and exhale, straighten through them to stamp both feet on the ceiling. Take an inhale here and then exhale into your happy baby. Grab your hands onto the outer or inner edges of your feet. Draw your knees towards your armpits. Maybe rock side to side. You're here in this happy baby. Also feel free to grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers instead of grabbing onto the edges of your feet. But wherever you are, the soles of your feet should be facing the ceiling. And just breathe here. This is a very relaxing pose. Great job. Curl yourself up into a tiny little ball. Maybe lift your head, draw your nose towards your knees. Take one final deep inhale here. And then exhale. Release into your final Shavasana. Extend your legs and arms straight out in front of you. Take up as much space on your mat as you like. And just completely relax here in this final pose. Relax all the muscles in your face. Unclench your jaw. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Roll your shoulders down your back. Your whole body should just be completely relaxed with nothing engaged. Just focus on your breaths here. Maybe inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 4. For example, inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. And repeat. If you notice your mind wandering, just gently bring your attention back to your breath. And just spend about a minute or 2 here exploring this Shavasana pose. Try to see if you can become more relaxed with every exhale. Begin to wiggle into your fingers and toes, bringing life back into your body. Maybe rock your head side to side. Take a deep inhale through your nose and sigh it out. Open mouth, exhale. Extend your arms overhead and point your toes in a nice long body stretch like you're just waking up in the morning. And then you can roll over to either side for fetal pose. Rest your head on your bicep. And take a moment here to reflect on your practice. Again, thank yourself for showing up for yourself today. And when you're ready, you can press up to seated position. You can bring your hands to heart center. And just appreciate yourself one final time for showing up for yourself, being consistent with your yoga practice. Even doing a little bit of something is better than doing nothing at all. It's important to be restful, and it's just as important to be restful as it is to be energetic and productive. You can bow your head. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you really enjoyed. And again, thank yourself for showing up for yourself and practicing yoga and self-care today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be up to date with all my other yoga videos. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So definitely be sure to check those out. Leave a comment, maybe let me know any suggestions of any classes you'd like to see. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. Namaste.